Catch the fashionable urban grannies. We will find out why grannies who invest time and money for themselves have emerged and introduce companies' marketing strategies targeting them. Korea and developed dairy farming countries are having excess milk that is not being consumed. What's behind this, and are there any remedies? Graphene is called as the dream material. Korean researchers have developed latest technology that facilitates production and commercialization of graphene. What are the principles behind this technology? Amid the fierce competition to take the lead in financial technology, or fintech, introduction of Korean-style internet banks is making headlines. What ICT-based financial services are banks launching to prepare for this? North Korea has recently been threatening the U.S. and also conducting large-scale military drills targeting the U.S. Why is it provoking the U.S.? And how strong is its military capability?
Hello, I'm Andrew Salmon and welcome to Bizline. Now, Korean society is a dynamic one, and Koreans themselves are constantly changing. And that includes even the most conservative elements of society. It's grandmas. Now, customarily, Korean grandmas spent enormous amounts of money on their children and grandchildren, and this entailed significant financial sacrifice. But today, grannies in their 50s and 60s are spending their money on themselves. From healthcare to hobbies, from clothing to cosmetics, these so-called urban grannies are big spenders, and companies are looking to seize a chunk of their custom. So, without further ado, let's meet a sampling of these new-look older ladies.
Forget the grandmothers who sacrifice everything for their children. Today, Korea's grandmas are pursuing their own happiness and living youthfully, spending and enjoying life as they like. Urban grandmas who live their fabulous lives are emerging as a key consumer group. Kim Geum-le, who is a soulite in her 50s, is enjoying her life now. She still actively works, so she has some economic power. She has a keen interest in cosmetics or fashion, so she invests much in grooming herself. She also tries to remain fit by doing yoga every day. She has grandchildren, but she does not devote herself to babysit them. Instead, she expresses her love by giving them gifts or pocket money from time to time.
정말 예뻐지고 싶은 마음, 또는 남들 앞에서 좀 자신감 있고 떳떳하게 나서고 싶은 그런 마음, 열심히, 그래서 운동 열심히 하고 많이 갖고 예뻐지고 싶은 마음에 열심히 살고 있습니다.
In Korea, the buzzword urban grannies has come under the spotlight. The urban grannies refer to a new generation of grandmothers with new attitudes and lifestyles.
어반 그래니는 베이비붐 세대의 도회적이고 세련된 할머니를 뜻하는 용어입니다. 이들은 이전과는 좀 질적으로 차원이 다른 어떤 문화적 향유를 누리는 세대고요. 특히 이들이 대학 시절에는 음악다방이나 고고장이나 청바지나 미니스커트 등 어떤 새로운 어떤 문화적 향유를 누렸던 그런 세대라고 할 수 있습니다.
The baby boom generation refers to those who were born during the peak population period of between 1955 and 1964 after the Korean War. Their number exceeds 9 million people. They have high education and income levels, and they went through the age of democracy and industrialization, so they have strong sense of identity and economic power as well. Traditional Korean grannies in the past had sacrificed everything for their families and strived to save money. But now, urban grandmothers have emerged as a huge consumer group that independently pursue their own happiness. Urban grannies in their 50s and 60s have a keen interest in improving their appearances. Rather than wearing old-fashioned clothes with dull colors, they style themselves in chic and colorful garments, trying to look younger than their age. The senior generation is also a big player in the outdoor clothing market. They are increasingly buying colorful and casual outdoor clothes to look younger. As a result, related companies' sales are going up.
어반 그래니들은 스스로를 젊다고 생각하기 때문에 건강관리나 피부관리 같은 것들을 이제 신경을 많이 쓰고 이런 관련된 소비들도 많이 하고 있고요. 여행이나 취미 같은 것들에도 이제 좀 관심이 많아서 관련된 소비에도 좀 더 적극적으로 이제 임하는 그런 상황입니다.
Interestingly, more urban grannies are opening their wallets to buy baby products. Some grandmothers who babysit their grandchildren are buying the products on behalf of their busy children. Others, who refuse to babysit their grandchildren, are increasingly expressing their love for their grandchildren by giving gifts. According to a department store, customers in the 50s and 60s age group spend an average of $300 in a single purchase per person. This is 20% higher than customers in the 30s and 40s age group. Consumer power of the urban granny generation is more clearly seen in home shopping. The items they purchase are mainly for themselves instead of their children or grandchildren. In fact, women over 50 bought fashion and accessories the most through home shopping channels last year, followed by beauty items and health foods. This is quite different from the past when they mostly spent money on groceries or baby products. As urban grannies have emerged as a big consumer group, their buying channels have also diversified from offline stores and TV home shopping. A home shopping company is operating a shopping mall for the 50s age group that allows customers to make orders through the internet or phone calls. With the increasing number of specialized fashion malls targeting the middle-aged or older adults, more and more new generation grannies are shopping online or on mobile. It is essential to get skincare services to look young. We visited one of the most popular skincare salons here in Korea. Skincare salons had been used mostly by young people in the past, but now, elderly people are also increasingly visiting them.
젊어 보이고 싶고 남들 앞에서 자신감 있는 모습으로 보이고 싶어요. 그래서 저는 관리를 자주 받고 있어요.
With the increasing visits by wider age groups of customers and urban grannies rising as their VIP customers, these shops are sharply boosting special treatment services for senior women and strengthening related marketing efforts.
실버 세대들은 일단은 이제 본인의 어떤 탄력이나 이런 주름이나 이런 그런 고민들을 많이 하시기 때문에 그것을 해결할 수 있는 프로그램을 좀 다양하게 준비하고 있는데요. 아무래도 골드 성분이 들어간 그런 프로그램들이 훨씬 선호도도 좋고 효과도 많이 보고 있는 것 같습니다.
The urban granny market has already grown into a huge industry to be called a certain generation specific consumption phenomenon. To continue and expand this trend, the industry will need an optimal micro-marketing strategy that does not approach the urban grannies as seniors, but as those who have young tastes.
소비의 중심층이 중년에서 장년으로 넘어오고 있고요. 특히 이제 초고령 사회로 진입하면서 이런 시니어를 위한 산업이 새로운 신성장 동력으로 이제 자리 잡고 있습니다. 앞으로 이런 시니어를 위한 산업 자체도 굉장히 확대될 것이고요. 또 시니어를 위한 제품의 개발이라든가 마케팅 전략의 어떤 실행 같은 것들도 앞으로 더욱더 확대될 그런 전망입니다.
Saying life begins at 60, they are dreaming of staying young and living a happy life. The related industry's success will depend on how quickly they can come up with marketing strategies designed for the chic grannies.
Milk has long been enjoyed by people around the world and here in Korea as a nutritious beverage. But currently in Korea, milk inventories are surging to their highest level in 12 years. As a result, milk producers are cutting back on production, and some have even made the extreme decision to cull their dairy herds. So, what on earth is going on? Why are so few people drinking so little milk compared to the past? these are some of the questions we have for our guest today. He's a professor in the Department of Food and Resource Economics here at the elite Korea University in Seoul. Dr. Byeong-il, thanks for joining us on Bizline.
For inviting me.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure. Let's talk about this, from the top. These rising milk inventories, this expanding milk lake, how serious is this problem?
Generally, milk, the unsold milk is converted into the skim or whole milk powder in order to easily store. But the stored milk stock is has recorded the top.
The top level?
Top level in recent years.
Okay.
For some companies, they don't have enough space to store the powdered milk. And for other companies, even they get the negative profit from the milk business. It's a very serious problem currently.
So clearly it's a pretty serious situation for Korean dairy farmers. I mean, what is behind this massively expanding milk lake?
Most importantly, there are two reasons. The first one is the unbalance between the supply and demand. That's the main reason. And the other reason is the government policy, which we call as the milk quota system, which results in the higher price compared to the competitive market price. And we can think about the other reason from the perspective of the consumption side. Generally, milk is consumed as a drinking milk, and the other one is the dairy product, such as cheese, butter, ice cream, yogurt, and so on.
And you're saying that now that consumer demand is falling. I mean, why so?
The drinking milk is most important because about 60 to 70% of the milk is consumed as the drinking milk.
Okay, that makes sense.
In Korea.
Yeah.
And the main consumers for the drinking milk in Korea is the children, including babies. But as you may know, we have a very low rate of the birth rate.
Oh, the demographic is
That's true.
Right.
And the other one is the birth rate is decreasing trend. Shows the decreasing trend.
Yeah.
And that means we have less and less consumers for the drinking milk.
Less and less little consumers.
That's true. And meanwhile, the demand for the dairy product is increasing. However, because of the Korea EU and Korea US FTA, the tariff imposed on the imported dairy products has been reduced. Therefore, the imported price of the dairy products just
becoming more competitive.
Been declining. That means it weakens competitiveness of the Korean dairy industry.
Well, doesn't it make it more competitive but takes away market share?
That's true. And it also limits expansion of the demand for the domestic milk, which could be used as making the dairy products.
Gotcha.
That's the other reason.
So the industry is facing kind of a double whammy. On the one hand, you've got a falling consumer base. On the other hand, you've got increasing rate of ever cheaper imports. But I understand now that in order to kind of avert this growing problem, the industry is looking beyond Korean shores and is trying to export to China to make up for the shortfall in the Korean market. But I also understand that milk exports to China have recently been suspended. So what's happening with the Korean penetration of the Chinese dairy market?
After the melamine shock in 2008, they consumed more amount of the Korean milk, actually. So the Korean milk imports increasing.
Gotcha.
But here we have to think about the marketing side of the milk for selling into China. When the milk is marketed, the freshness is very important. It's very critical, actually. If we consider the largest country size of China and the long time of the transporting from Korea into each province in China, it is very hard for the Korean companies to meet the deadline of the shelf life for delivering milk from Korea into Chinese markets. In addition, there is another problem. Because of the long transportation period, there arises very high transportation cost. That means milk company should sell the Korean milk at a very high price in China markets. But anyway, however, the Korean companies have managed to overcome those kind of obstacles. That's why we have the increasing trend for the milk selling in Chinese market until last year.
And what happened last year?
Well, last year, the Chinese government changed the rule that regulates the imported milk. So under the new regulation, they need extended period of the shelf life. But it is not possible for the Korean companies under the current facility and production system.
And that's because they've got to distribute not just around China, but first from Korea to
That's
China.
true. They need a different methodology of sterilization.
Yeah, okay.
But the current system that the Korean company is adopting is a different sterilization system.
Which means so they've got to invest in new equipment.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why we cannot export more fluid milk into Chinese market anymore.
Yeah, I understand the Korean government has had a long-held quota system for dairy farmers in Korea in order to stabilize and support the income of farmers. But my sense is that generally these kind of systems may be very useful in an immature market, but once the market matures, you need to have a market-based system to set pricing. So, I mean, my question to you is, has this quota, is it a problem or is it an asset for the industry?
Generally, when the quota is introduced, the main purpose of the quota system is for supporting the price by restricting the production amount. But in the current quota system in Korea, there is no function of the production limitation or restriction of the production. Only price supporting function is operated. So basically, in the current system, excess or overproduction is always arising. Farmers can sell the production, the produced amount of milk as much as possible, because they're guaranteed the price by the
there's
government.
no fluctuation according to the market mechanism.
The main reason for the current overproduction is come from the government policy.
Basically, we're facing falling consumption plus a restrictive government policy.
That's true.
Is there a way to profitably use this stacked up milk inventory, perhaps in the form of alternative dairy products?
We may develop a new dairy product that can use the domestic milk as a material, but it's not possible in a short period. The milk producers should control the milk production by themselves. That's the most important one in a short period. So as I told you, the milk quota system is aimed for supporting the farmers' income, especially for the dairy farmers' income. So what I want to say here is the urgent and most important action current action is the policy reform, where the milk production and price is determined at the market, not the government. If the dairy farmers' income is a problem, then we can complement it by implementing the dialogue payment policy, which we already implementing for the rice farming. And it's just a global trend for the agricultural policy.
Is there a way to expand the competitiveness of Korean dairy products in the local market and also possibly for export markets?
Now there's a possibility for the dairy market in Korea. What I'm saying here is the dairy product consumption is increasing continuously.
And what dairy products? We're talking yogurt, cheese, ice creams.
Butter, ice cream, especially cheese. That may provide an opportunity for the Korean dairy industry. But the other negative side is because of the FTA with so many countries, the tariff reduction just result in the low level of imported price of dairy products.
So more import sales.
That's true. But the current situation for the Korean dairy product or the Korean dairy industry is we don't have developed the level of skills for making good dairy products such as cheese and yogurt, and we don't have not much variety of the dairy products. So that's a very limitation. I think it will take more time for the Korean dairy industry to compete with the imported ones.
Okay, in terms of imports, no argument. And Koreans are pretty fast movers. They're very good at global distribution. Could we start seeing exports of Korean dairy products to
we may find
other
some
nations?
exporting market, but it's a very small portion. It's a very rare case. So still there are so many challenges,
competition abroad,
challenges
absolutely.
for exporting the
Okay, so still a tiny share
That's
of
true.
it. Okay, well, it looks like a rather grim outlook for the Korean dairy industry. Realistically speaking, what does the dairy industry, what do dairy farmers need to focus on in Korea to move their industry forward in the future?
I think the most important and the urgent action is the policy reform in order to increase the competitiveness of the Korean dairy industry. And the other one is the development of foreign exporting markets. I think that China will provide an opportunity. The reason why I'm focusing on the China, because in China, the milk and dairy products were not the main item in a traditional diet. But like in Korea, the Chinese dietary pattern is being
changing.
westernized with the economic development. This is why we can have a very large potential for increasing the export to the Chinese markets.
Based almost on the Korean experience of
That's
10,
true.
20 years ago.
There is a very high potential for increasing the dairy product demand. But the problem is, as I told you, we have some trade dispute, obstacles.
Yeah.
So currently, we have to overcome those kind of obstacles. But China is very close from Korea, and there are very high populations.
Yeah.
And there is also arising very serious food safety problem.
In local
Although the
market, right.
government just regulates the import from Korea, but the consumers in China just really like the Korean dairy products, including the fresh milk and some banana milk and some other dairy products.
I think Chinese like all Korean products, don't they?
That's true. So I think we have an opportunity.
So if you're a Korean dairy producer, the answer is look to China.
That's true.
Okay. Well, Dr. An, thanks very much for filling us in on the falling milk prices locally and globally.
That's true. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
This app is useful when you want to send a mobile gift to your loved ones you can't frequently meet amid busy daily life. App of the Week is new concept app Topping that can send mobile gifts along with messages. When you open the app, you can see illustrations by theme, such as family, love, and cheer, as well as about 900 gifts ranging from coffee, dessert, to eating out. Let's send a cute illustration and coffee as a gift to your friend who is exhausted by working overtime. After going through a simple payment process, enter the message you want to send and it is done. When you get the gift, a moving 3D delivery man character delivers you the gift, even adding a unique fun. Now you can send your heart to your loved ones with mobile gifts with your own sensitivity.
Currently, the dream material in the ICT industry is graphene. It's high in strength, it's low in weight, and it efficiently conducts both heat and electricity. But here's the kicker. It's extremely difficult to produce graphene effectively or cost-effectively. However, Korean researchers have now come up with a technology that will play a dramatic role in the commercialization and production of this material. So, let's take a look at the potential.
Wearables are the buzzword in the IT sector. From smartwatches and bendable smartphones to foldable displays, the horizon of wearables is stretching quickly. But wearing electronic devices still is mostly in our imagination. A wondrous and futuristic-looking material called graphene could accelerate those wearable imaginations into reality. Graphene is atom-thin carbon sheets in a honeycomb lattice. Graphene is 200 times stronger than steel, super light, thin, flexible, and transparent, which can be embedded directly in garments and conduct charges through the clothing itself. Although first discovered in the 1940s, it wasn't until 2004 when scientists were able to isolate and produce two-dimensional structures. Despite its limitless potential for electromechanical applications that could send wearables to the next level, the technology has remained mostly in the lab due to various challenges against commercialization. The graphene research arm of Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology developed a new method to transfer graphene onto a circuit board, a necessary step for scaling up mass production.
그래핀을 상용화하는 데서 가장 큰 걸림돌 중에 하나가 좋은 그래핀을 합성해서 그 좋은 그래핀을 합성한 것들을 원하는 기판에다가 이동시키는 것이 전사하는 것이거든요. 그 전사하는 공정이 굉장히 복잡하고 사실 비용도 들고 그리고 그래핀의 특성을 저하시키는 그런 단점이 있어 왔는데 저희들이 개발한 전사법인 경우에는 그 기존의 여러 가지 단점들을 극복하기 때문에 그래핀을 상용화할 수 있는 어떤 가능성을 열었던 그런 한 발걸음을 뗐다고 그런 의의가 있다고 볼 수 있습니다.
For scaling up production of graphene, the substance must be transferred onto glass, plastic, or other desired surface. A popular method used to transfer graphene onto a circuit board is a wet transfer. The graphene grown on metal substrate is immersed in a bath of wet etchant, and metal layers are removed by heat to leave only the graphene. But residue from metal etching can damage the electrical properties of graphene. The process is also time-consuming and costly.
그래핀을 보통 전사하기 위해서는 습식 전사법이라는 방법을 많이 사용하게 되는데 그 같은 경우에는 그래핀과 그리고 금속 촉매기판을 분리해내기 위해서 금속 촉매기판을 식각 용액에 담궈서 식각을 해버리게 됩니다. 그 식각 용액에 남아있는 레지듀라던가 그리고 식각 용액 그 자체 그런 것들이 그래핀 표면에 묻어가지고 그래핀의 그 우리가 원하는 전기적 성질을 얻지 못하게 그래핀의 성능을 굉장히 저하시키는 단점이 있고요.
The delamination transfer method the local research team has developed does not use the metal etching process. The metal graphene substrate is instead pre-treated in an aqueous polyvinyl alcohol solution. A PVA film is formed and strongly bonded with the graphene layer. The graphene is lifted from the growth substrate by means of an elastomeric stamp. The graphene layer is in an isolated state and can freely be transferred onto a circuit.
그래핀이 구리에 있다는 것은 그래핀과 구리 간의 일종의 상호작용, 인력이 작용하고 있는 것입니다. 그런데 우리가 구리에서 그래핀을 뜯어내기 위해서는 어떤 그래핀과 어떤 물질 간의 인력이 그래핀과 구리의 인력보다 조금 더 강한 일종의 흡착력이죠. 흡착력이 조금 더 강한 물질을 그래핀에 붙인 다음에 그걸 기계적으로 뜯어내게 되면 그래핀과 구리 상의 인력을 극복을 해내고 우리가 분리할 수 있는 것입니다. 우리가 이번에 개발한 PVA라는 물질이 그래핀하고 인력이 조금 더 강하면서 손쉽게 그래핀을 방내에 뜯어낼 수도 있고 나중에 그 물질 자체를 없애버릴 수 있는 그런 장점이 있는 물질을 이제 발견한 것입니다.
The technology allows graphene to be stamped onto any type of surface and even on large-scale wafers. It provided a breakthrough in commercialization of graphene-based devices. If continued and large-scale production is possible, graphene is poised to be a promising power source for various displays.
그래핀 같은 경우에는 이제 가시광선형에서 투명할 뿐만 아니라 또 그 얇은 특성 때문에 굉장히 플렉서블하게 됩니다. 뿐만 아니라 이제 그래핀이 주로 이제 금속에 가까운 성질을 갖고 있다고 알려져 있기 때문에 이러한 장점들을 종합해 본다면은 플렉서블 기판 위에다가 그래핀을 이제 얹고 그 위에 그 그래핀 전극을 기반으로 해서 플렉서블 디스플레이 같은 그런 이제 응용 소자를 저희가 개발할 수 있을 것으로 이제 기대를 하고 있습니다.
Daejeon-based Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute has already embarked on OLED applications with the graphene film developed through KAIST's new transferred method. On top of its excellent conductivity, its flexible and transparent nature also makes graphene an attractive candidate as a transparent conductor. The ITO that is widely used in LEDs and touchscreens is rigid and breakable.
플렉서블에서도 밴더블 또는 폴더블, 궁극적으로는 종이처럼 막 접어지는 그런 디스플레이로 이제 발전해 나갈 걸로 예상을 하고 있는데요. 그럴 때 그 구부림이 그 접힘이나 구부림이 가능한 투명 전극이 이제 필요로 할 걸로 예상이 되고 있습니다.
The research team has developed OLED powered by graphene electrodes with better performance than traditional transparent conductors. The team is now working on graphene transparent conductors to apply to display panels.
기존의 ITO 전극과 대등한 수준의 OLED 소자를 그래핀 투명 전극을 이용해서 구현한 결과들이 보고되고 있는데요. 근데 지금까지의 연구들은 그 소자로서 구현되는 그런 수준이고요. 실제로 디스플레이에 적용하기 위한 신뢰성이나 공정성을 가지고 있지 못했습니다. 그래서 이제 저희 연구 그룹에서는 실제 패널에 적용할 수 있을 수준의 신뢰성과 공정성을 갖는 그래핀 투명 전구를 개발하는 데 집중하고 있습니다.
According to one estimate, the graphene market is expected to balloon from this year's $30 billion to $600 billion by 2030. Once commercialization of graphene picks up, the IT industry will likely change faster and more dramatically. But research and development must continue to enhance productivity of graphene devices.
합성부터 그 물성을 연구하는 것들, 그리고 합성된 그래핀을 전사하는 기술, 이런 원천 기술에 대한 연구가 아직은 더 많이 필요한 것이고요. 하지만 이런 것들이 잘 이루어진다 그러면 향후 디스플레이라든지 아니면 웨어러블 일렉트로닉스 이런 분야에 굉장히 파급 효과가 큰 그런 분명한 신소재가 될 것으로 판단이 됩니다.
Graphene, dubbed as the miracle future generation formula, is receiving much attention around the globe. The Korean government has earmarked 17 trillion won in research and development funds on the graphene-based industry. Korea could stand at the forefront in the new generation material backed by state sponsoring and persistent research.
Financial technology, or fintech, is currently being upgraded worldwide. And here in Korea, online banking is already a hot issue. Now, currently, online banking services extend to such things as online loans and online deposits. With the expected introduction of a fully online banking service, a whole universe of new products and services is expected to appear. What might they be? Let's take a look.
With the meeting of Information and Communications Technology, or ICT, and banking services, you can enjoy more non-face-to-face banking service channels without visiting banks. With the rapidly growing financial technology, or fintech industry, the banking sector has also been beefing up new service channels based on ICT. With the IT industry's advancement into the traditional financial service area, the competition has become fiercer to take the lead in the fintech industry. Nonghyup Bank has recently launched a wearable banking service that allows customers to do banking on their smartwatches. Smart banking users can also use smartwatches to access various financial services, such as checking their bank balances and transaction records by entering simple passwords. The bank is also preparing to add a money transfer service. The bank explains that the wearable banking service is more secure as the user's smartwatch has to be connected to the smartphone and Bluetooth to access the wearable banking service.
스마트 기기와 스마트워치는 1대1로 매칭이 되고 페어링이 되어 있습니다. 그래서 상호 주고받는 자기가 짝이 되는 게 항상 있어야 되기 때문에 이거는 자기 짝이 되지 않는 기기가 없으면 거래가 되지 않는 또는 조회가 되지 않는 서비스로 되어 있기 때문에 안전하게 되어 있습니다.
Financial firms are aiming to converge wearables with financial technology or fintech-related businesses such as two-channel authentication, transfers of small amounts of money, and easy payment, rather than transaction banking, which is the main function of banks.
현재 은행 고객 중에 90%가 영업점을 방문하지 않는 비대면 고객들입니다. 이 비대면 고객들을 저희가 거래하기 위해서는 다양한 IT 정보 기기를 활용한 고객의 접점을 만들어주는 서비스가 필요합니다. 그래서 현재 스마트폰으로 많이 이루어지고 있지만 또 다양한 스마트워치라든가 웨어러블 기기가 지금 현재 나오고 있는 웨어러블 기기에도 접목할 수 있는 서비스를 구상 중이며 현재 계속 개발 중에 있습니다.
In the past, there were times we had to visit banks to perform banking tasks. But now, few of us go to banks to do banking. We can access online banking if we have personal computers, and smartphone banking is also popular. On top of smartwatches, users can also access banking services on the TV. This is a TV banking service jointly created by Shinhan Bank and Olle IPTV. It has an IC slot for the cash card, and you can check your bank transaction records and transfer money to another bank account on the TV screen. So it's as if an automatic teller machine, or ATM, has come into your home. By just entering your account's password, you can use the banking service in the same way as you use the ATM. The TV Money service provides a virtual account on the TV that allows the user to pay for VOD services and home shopping products directly from TV. While watching the TV, the user can immediately pay for the product by just entering the password. The user can charge the account by putting the cash card into the set-top box or by directly transferring money. ICT-based banking services do not just end at the diversification of usage channels. The Korean government has recently unveiled its goal to set up Korean-style internet banks this year, further strengthening its stance to foster the fintech industry.
인터넷 전문은행은 전혀 지점이 없고 모든 예금 통장 개설부터 송금, 대출 이런 것이 전부 다 온라인에서 이루어지고 있고요. 온라인 거래만 있다 보니까 오프라인 지점 유지 비용이 절감이 돼서 고객들에게는 예금 이자를 더 높게 줄 수도 있고 또 대출 이자를 더 낮게 제공해 줄 수 있다는 그런 장점은 있습니다.
As a result, the banking industry is scrambling to launch cyber financial centers that match the banking services of internet banks. Through their smartphones, customers will be able to buy most of the financial instruments which had been provided through bank counters. Banks are also preparing to launch services in the first half of this year to provide consultations to non-face-to-face customers in the virtual financial space and assist them in buying financial products.
지금까지 인터넷 뱅킹과 스마트 뱅킹은 이 빠른 창구의 역할, 그러니까 이체해주고 돈을 찾아주고 돈을 입금해주는 그런 역할만 해왔습니다. 그러다 보니까 이 비대면 고객들의 전문 상담을 해주고 상품을 권유하고 그래서 그 고객들이 우리 상품을 적극적으로 구매할 수 있는 이런 상담 체계가 없다는 거죠. 그래서 사이버 지점을 만들어서 이 고객이 영업점의 직원 앞에 앉아 있는 것처럼 우리 모든 정보기기를 활용해 가지고 고객의 상담 체계를 전문적으로 해준다는 겁니다.
From the user's point of view, they can access various financial services online and on mobile devices without visiting bank branches. But it's also true that concerns have been raised over security issues and risks over information leakage because of the boom in non-face-to-face real-name financial transactions. But many experts have an optimistic outlook for the internet banks as they can spark competition in the conventional banking industry.
우리나라도 인터넷 전문은행은 2에서 3%에 불과합니다. 그렇지만 인터넷 전문은행이 허용이 되면은 은행들이 보다 인터넷 전문은행을 통해서 다양한 서비스들을 실험할 수도 있고 실험된 서비스들이 기존 은행들의 전파가 돼서 고객들의 편의에 도움이 될 수 있는 측면이 있습니다. 그래서 인터넷 전문은행 그 자체만으로는 그렇게 큰 시장을 차지하기는 어렵습니다만은 그것의 경쟁 효과 또는 혁신 유발 효과를 우리가 주목해야 될 필요가 있다고 생각합니다.
The fintech industry has emerged as a new growth engine of the banking industry. Amid the convergence of ICT and the financial industry, the market is paying attention on how this can create new service values for users.
North Korea and the United States have not met on the field of battle since 1953, but right now they're engaged in a war of words, firing rhetorical missiles at each other. President Barack Obama reckons that North Korea will one day collapse. North Korea responds by saying it's ready for war. And it's not just words. North Korea has recently launched military exercises designed to counter US forces, including aircraft carriers. So, exactly how formidable is North Korea's vaunted military? And does it truly possess the capability to strike US mainland.
Late last month, North Korea state media reported that North Korea has tested a new anti-ship cruise missile claimed with capacity to hit U.S. targets with ultra-precision. North Korean submarine fires torpedo at an island targeted as a dummy for a U.S. warship. A jet of water blasts off from the attack. Bomb shower from surrounding fighter jets. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un declared that his country was ready to go into a nuclear war with the United States and can strike the U.S. mainland.
미국의 수치스러운 역사를 마감하게 될 전국적 멸망의 마지막 페이지를 다른 곳이 아닌 미국 땅에서 우리의 백두산 총대로 어디 좋게 쏘주기로 결심하였다.
The U.S., however, doesn't seem to pay serious attention to North Korea's bellicose rhetoric or military demonstration.
김정은이 2015년도 1월 달에 보여준 전투기와 잠수함을 동원한 그 미 해군 항공모함 공격 방식이 70년 전에 일본군이 썼던 그러니까 2차 세계대전 방식이 굉장히 낡은 방식이었습니다. 전투기도 한 40년 된 것이고 잠수함도 한 50년 된 것이기 때문에 그러한 전술을 사용할 수밖에 없기 때문에 미 해군 항공모함의 공격은 고사하고 접근도 불가능한 그것이 현실입니다.
Even if North Korean jets take off to target a U.S. naval fleet, they would be immediately caught by a U.S. radar system and patrol aircrafts that accompany the aircraft carrier.
전투기가 그 가상의 섬을 항공모함으로 삼아서 이제 그 공격 훈련을 했는데 폭탄을 떨어뜨리고 로켓탄을 썼습니다. 거리상으로 따지면 한 1km, 2km까지 접근을 해서 공격을 한 것인데 미 해군 항공모함이 가지고 있는 전투기의 작전 반경이 1000km입니다. 그러면은 미 해군 전투기가 북한 전투기보다 압도적인 성능 우위에 있는데 1000km 범위 안에 들어오지도 못하고 미 해군 전투기에 격추당할 수 있고요.
In fact, there would be no need for aircrafts to take off from the carrier. The accompanying fleet of Aegis anti-missile warships can alone handle attack from North Korea.
미 해군이 세계적으로 가장 강력한 잠수함 잡는 기술과 장비를 가지고 있지 않습니까? 그럼 이들 장비를 이용한다면은 뭐 100km, 200km 밖에서 접근조차 못하고 물속에 수장될 수밖에 없습니다.
Then how probable is Kim's threat to strike the U.S. mainland? North Korea is believed to have the capacity to fire a rocket 10,000 kilometers at most. The distance is enough to reach the U.S. west coast that includes San Francisco and Los Angeles.
실제로 중거리 미사일과 장거리 미사일이 미 본토를 공격할 만큼의 수준으로 배치가 되어 있느냐를 물어본다면 꼭 그렇지는 않은 거죠. 미 본토를 공격을 하려면은 대륙간 탄도 미사일로 한 10,000km는 돼야 되는데 지금 대포동 2호 미사일이 사정거리가 10,000km 정도 된다고 하지만 여기에 대한 능력은 아직 검증되진 않은 상태라고 볼 수가 있습니다.
Kim Jong-un knows well his country's military power is no match for the U.S. North Korea, obsessed with military propaganda, is suspected to have fabricated and added past drill scenes to make the exercise look bigger and daunting.
대규모의 군사훈련을 벌이고 무력 시위를 한 경우도 자세히 들여다보면 그러니까 어떤 훈련을 조작하는 적들이 있어요. 예를 들면 같은 사진은 반복적으로 이렇게 이어서 배치함으로써 대규모의 훈련을 한 것 같지만 자세히 보면 같은 그 장비가 반복적으로 계속 배치되는 거 볼 수가 있거든요. 그제 김정은 제1위원장이 공군기지를 방문해서 훈련을 참관한 적이 있는데 거기서 보면 이제 이 도상훈련이라고 그래가지고 비행기가 아니라 실제로 비행기를 타고 움직여야 되는데 조종사들이 이제 땅 위에서 비행기를 가지고 도보로 훈련하는 도보 훈련을 한 적이 있거든요.
So why does North Korea provoke the U.S., although it hardly poses a match? It is a well-known and long-standing brinkmanship tactic of North Korea to get something from other countries.
북한의 대남 대외 협상의 특징이라면 이 무력 도발을 한 이후에 협상을 하고 또 실리를 얻고 북한은 뭐 잃을 게 없기 때문에 무력 도발을 하게 되면 이제 상대방이 대화의 틀로 나올 거라는 거를 기대를 하는 거죠.
So what does Pyongyang want from Washington this time?
작년 12월부터 올 1월까지 북한이 그 대화 국면으로 모든 상황을 이렇게 이끌어 나가고자 했지만 자기네들이 의도했던 바와는 반대 방향으로 미국의 어떻게 보면 그 대북 강경 노선이 지금 굉장히 강화되고 있고요. 호락호락 받아들여지지 않으니까 계속해서 그 김정은 체제 이후 항상 그 매년 상반기에 보여지는 그런 반복된 행태를 지금 또 보이고 있는 것이 아닌가 싶습니다.
But Pyongyang's brinkmanship is no longer working on Washington.
And it is very hard to sustain that kind of brutal authoritarian regime in this modern world. Over time, you will see a regime like this collapse.
North Korea may turn desperate and take the risk to a further level by using the nuclear test card.
만일에 4차 핵실험을 한다면 미국은 훨씬 더 강력한 군사력을 전진 배치시킬 것이고 그 경우는 중국이 감당하기 어려운 군사적인 압박에 직면하게 되죠. 그렇기 때문에 중국 역시 4차 핵실험은 적극적으로 억제 내지는 제어하는 그런 상황이라고 할 수가 있어요. 그렇기 때문에 북한이 4차 핵실험을 하는 것은 사실상 어렵다. 4차 핵실험으로 새로운 도발하는 것은 굉장히 어려운 것이고 만일에 한다 그러면 김정은 정권이 감당하기 어려운 정도의 어떤 그런 압박에 직면할 가능성이 높다. 그걸 김정은 정권도 잘 알고 있다 이렇게 볼 수 있습니다.
Unless North Korea breaks out of its old framework, the stalemate in U.S.-North Korea will likely go on.
미국이 대외적으로는 여전히 대화의 문이 열려 있다라고 하지만 그 대화의 문이 열린데 북한이 들어오기 위해서는 반드시 북한 핵 문제와 관련해서 북한이 무엇을 내놔야 되는데 내놓지 않은 상태에서 계속 대화만을 한다면 정말 아무 성과 없는 대화 간의 상호 핑퐁 효과만 있기 때문에 이러한 상황이 풀리지 않은 상태로 그냥 한반도의 긴장이 고조되는 상황으로 지속되지 않을까 우려되고 있습니다.
North Korea may have to come up with new tactics beyond crying wolf because it is clear the U.S. and international society have lost patience with its old-fashioned brinkmanship and empty threats.
And that's all we have time for on Bizline this week. But do join us again next week for our holiday special. Now, Lunar New Year is one of the two biggest holidays in South Korea, and it is far and away the biggest holiday in China. We'll be finding out how many Chinese tourists may be coming to Korea over the holiday break and what the Korean tourism industry needs to do to lure ever more. And continuing the theme, we'll be finding out how ICT is changing the way Lunar New Year is celebrated here in South Korea and what kind of foods are eaten during the holiday break in North Korea. So do join us then, but that's all for now. I'm Andrew Salmon. This was Bizline. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.